I don't know what happened, but it was definitely on my side of things.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. I want to do, oh, that Zoom. No, not that. News.
Have you seen what Barry put in the chat room?
Barry's been bad. Oh, raccoons matter.
Raccoon lives
Raccoon
matter.
lives matter. It's so bad.
Oh.
They do matter. I use one notch on my bedpost for each one. Notch on my belt, whatever you're going to call it. Get rid of those suckers.
Oh, gosh.
That little furry guy right there, he's scary. He's got those scary frontal teeth.
Yeah, he's right.
The book of the month is Michael Conley. He's got a new book. It's the Harry Bosch series out in November of 2019. So be aware of that. The quick news, H.266 is coming. Supposed to be twice as fast as 265, which was twice as fast as 264, which is, I don't know. It sounds interesting.
Less bandwidth. It'll use less bandwidth.
Yeah.
I was going to say, 265 uses some serious power, though.
It does. It does tend to grind up your CPU a bit.
So, I mean, I love that it's like half the size, but I mean, it's hard on devices.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine 266 is. I can tell you right now, my living room television will crash trying to.
Those pepper droids are spooky looking.
Was that enough?
That was enough.
Okay.
You have a hard time streaming video back. It was a little choppy.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't terribly
Those peppers, those things are freaky looking.
It looks like they had the feet
Nice.
restrained. Oh, yeah.
Ray's getting eaten.
Can we share the screen, Jim?
Oh, let me do this.
Oh, wrong color.
Now you can do whatever you want, Leroy.
Okay.
You're the boss. You're the boss.
Oh, I'm the boss now.
Yeah.
We have, that's not a good picture. Let's see. There we go. Dinosaur standing on the grandkid's head.
Oh.
So if you've got an Android phone and you go to Google search and type dinosaurs in, It'll let you virtually see dinosaurs in the real world if your phone supports it,
Okay.
and it's fun. We drove around or we walked around and looked for dinosaurs in the yard, and she got stomped on by a couple of them.
Have to
All
watch
right.
your step in here.
Hey guys, I wanted to, since we're talking about dinosaurs and other goofy stuff, I did order some Galvo style metal marking laser machines. So they're like these desktop lasers. They're actually very, very cool. And as some example materials to engrave on, I bought a whole bunch of knives. I bought like 700 or so total knives, but I've got like a dozen different ones. I've never shared my desktop before, but I'll be happy to show you a couple of what those knives look like.
And okay, you should be able to.
Okay, so how do I do that?
So if you click down where it says share screen down at the bottom
Your
of
screen. Okay.
just click on that, and it should bring up another thing, and you should be able to select which screen to share.
Okay. So I just pop around to the different.
There you go.
Okay, so you see one of these. Okay. And how the hell do I change it again?
You can, the easiest way, I'll just change what you're looking at.
Oh, so all I can do is just clicking on different windows in my screen.
Did you share a window, or did you share the actual screen? There should be two different options.
So
It's a
do you
window.
do you see raccoons now?
Nope.
No.
No.
I see a knife.
And you don't see
Share
raccoons
pane.
yet?
Yeah, share a tab, select a tab, and then
I don't know how to get out of it.
just at the top, it should have stop.
Oh, okay. Just stop share. Okay.
This is why we love this thing. It's dumb as a,
Yeah, thanks.
yeah, that's why.
All right. So you got my whole screen?
Yes. Yes. Now you
Okay.
got the whole screen.
Okay, so you can see where we got this knife. It's all black, not very big. Got another nice one there. Decent ones. What hell? That one's really nice. It's like 23 centimeters long. That's another 23 centimeter knife. By the way, all these are good for killing raccoons.
I was gonna say, are these raccoon knives or?
Now, the intention is that they are low-cost knives that would be good for
Promotion.
just engraving names across the blade or the handle, and just make sure I got each one of these viewed. So the cool thing about it is that I was able to buy most of these surplus from China. So like even this knife was $4. It's not really big, but it's a nice little knife. And I mean, I was just showing earlier where the photo on the right was actually the photo that I took where my camera was doing some bad white balancing, and then I put it into some software, and I got the photo on the left is what I'll be putting on the website. So I heavily promote Lightroom software. It does a good job. And I'm done.
We assume the Lightroom is free.
No, Lightroom is like $150. Sorry.
I have a license for $20.
Oh yeah?
You can ask for a license for a maker and just fill a form, and they send you the license for $20. I did it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I bought my license 5 years ago. It's been sitting on my desk, the package, for 5 years, and I finally installed it today. It works great. But like I was showing before, the quality of difference of the image that you get is just incredible. And it's not that I had a raw image from a camera, that it was manipulating raw video or a raw image. That was a JPEG that was grayed out on the right, and then it really balanced it correctly with a white background that was the image on the left. So it's pretty incredible. Hey guys, I have another engagement. I have to get going home. It's to take care of my kid. We're both going to go out in the backyard and shoot raccoons. So we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, Rick.
Good one.
See you. All right. I guess it's over to you again, Jim.
I am enjoying this.
Oh yeah, I've missed those. I've missed your candy coming.
But this is nuts and berries.
Nuts and berries. Okay. I've missed those little candy things.
We'll be back on that soon, I guess. Soon, I mean 6 months.
Okay, here we go. I just found my screen again. Okay. Let's see if I can bring Real Link up here. This is Real Link. I forgot how to use it, but it's this is a hummingbird feeder in the backyard. Split full screen tour.
Oh,
Next page.
that's that that's that one camera that you were talking about or showed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, this is the $35 one that's not compatible with iSpy, but yeah, you saw the new ones. The new ones are like $50. This is a 3 megapixel. The new ones I think are 4 megapixel, and they have good compression. Oh, here we go, playback. Maybe that's it. That is a list. You see, that's a list of all the triggers for the different cameras. And you can play them all at the same time. That's really bizarre. Fluent, let's see if I can play them all. Play, pause, play. It's not gonna play. I guess I have to select some. There's the live view. Oh. What that beeping means is there's something triggering one of the cameras. I have to do playback now. Now I don't know I don't know how to use this. It's pretty cool software though. Except I use the app all the time, so I don't. I'm not familiar with this software as I should be, and it's a little wacky if you don't know what's going on. The Android phone is just superb. You can say scan all the pictures that were taken today, do 4 times the speed, or select the time that you want to display, and then when you download one, you can trim it to 4 seconds, like a lot of the hummingbird pictures. They're only in the frame for 6 seconds, and you can trim the size down to 6 seconds, and you can send it to directly to Google Photos. Boom, done. Good stuff. I didn't do it.
Yeah, looks like they've only got software for Windows and your phone.
Yeah, for that model, they also have software for iSpy also, but it's the next version. It's not the E1. It's the whatever. The
Right.
E1 is just for Android. But Windows is hard to do. You know, a lot of the guys, Shricam, they have Windows apps, but you got to go through the old version of Internet Explorer to use it. This one has real and very nicely done Windows software. Yeah, you don't see much of the other stuff. I thought maybe you had converted Ray to your operating system, Leroy.
Linux.
He's still using.
It's hard to get businesses to switch to Linux because of the software they need to run. And all his laser machines, most of the software for it is something that, you know, Windows runs.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to get them to switch. Yeah.
I didn't see much in the Linux world today in the news. Apparently they had some conflicts with how Linux was using tabs in the browser, in the Chrome browser, but it looks like they fixed some of that stuff.
The biggest thing that I've seen past few days is probably Linux Mint 20 is out, and I'm doing an upgrade on the old computer just to see how it runs before I upgrade this one, just to make sure.
Pranav, are you a big Linux guy? He must have wandered off.
He's disappeared.
Yeah.
Gone.
And Vicente is mostly Windows, aren't you?
Yeah, Windows. Windows 7, mainly.
Really?
Yeah,
When they going to discontinue 7?
they're already discontinued.
Did you say you're using Windows 7?
7, yeah. For everything.
It's actually better than Windows 10 in a lot of ways.
All my software runs in Windows 7. I like it.
Windows 10, they keep messing stuff up and changing stuff, and I don't know.
So we finally decided on a new air conditioner. We're going to get a Train. Anybody have trouble? Anybody have any issues with Train?
Train is a good brand. I don't know.
So we're getting the scrolling compressor, which is pretty much what everyone uses nowadays. Instead of the piston type, they have a scroll compressor. It has 2 veins, circular veins, and one rotates within the other vein, driven by a motor. And as it slides around, it compresses the gases and does away with the reciprocating engine problem, friction, multiple pieces.
It's like the concept of the Wrangler motor. The so like a triangle moving inside a can. Or I don't know. So.
Well, it looks like. Have you ever seen a spring thermostat?
Mm-hmm.
Thermostat on the thermostat with a spring in it?
Yeah. Be metal.
Yeah, it looks like they put a spring in there, and they put a spring inside the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And then they rotate the spring around. The spring doesn't rotate, it rotates around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally impressive. There's a lot of articles on it if you're interested.
Oh, interesting.
Search on it. But it's they tore one apart. It was pretty interesting, different, more reliable supposedly because of the fewer moving parts. So it was. They had the scrolling. These days, they're doing away with the single speed, and the scrollers allow you to do multiple speeds relatively easily. And so now they have variable air conditioners. So you have a variable speed DC 3-phase motor. I'm hearing myself doing that. Not me. Not you.
You sound like there's a little bit of an echo. But I don't know.
So it's pretty good stuff. The high-end ones are fully variable, and then the middle ones, second tier, is the 2-speed, and then the bottom is the single speed, and that's where I am. I'm a bottom feeder. I got a 16 SEER, which is not the top of the line, but it's mid-tier. The bottom is 13 now. That's as low as they can go. We got a 16. We're ordering a 16 with under certain conditions it can be 17, but it does have a variable speed blower motor. We're getting a heater too. The blower, the inside blower is actually in the heater, and it's a variable speed motor, but it's fixed speeds. It's 2 speeds, and a 96% efficient gas heater, and that gets us a rebate from Duke and a tax rebate from the federal government and all that good stuff. So you better be thinking about this, Vicente. You need to look into all that. You're getting a top end. They sell 26 SEERs, excuse me, 26 SEERs. They don't recommend it for our area. Do you know why? Because we're actually in a relatively moderate climate, number one, and number two is our electricity is relatively cheap here. But we didn't know we had cheap electricity.
Yeah, we don't feel that, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's why we're here, I guess, because it's cheap. But
my air conditioning runs on gas for heating and on electricity for cooling. It's a hybrid system.
Yeah, most of them are these days. They do have the heat pumps, which are all electric, but they're due to the harsher winters here. They're not terribly wonderful for this area. You have in the winter. It's hard to try to put cold air outside. It just work well. The efficiency drops off when the temperature gets below like 32, and they switch over to heating strips, which is not efficient at all. Oh, the camera's still on. Let me go over and kill that. At least I don't have the birds this week.
What's that?
Oh, yeah. Batman.
That's my mask.
diving.
I said if I'm going to have to wear one, I might as well wear one that actually makes sense to wear.
Now it's compulsive to use mask in all Ohio, right?
In the stores, it's required.
Inside places, in closed spaces. Okay.
Yeah. In was Hamilton and Butler around here in Montgomery County, I guess. If you go up further north. We are into our final 10 minutes. I just got the warning. It says our meeting will be over soon.
I have like 10 books from the library, and I still renewing them continuously. So I don't need to give them back.
Oh, okay.
When the day that they opened the drop boxes back up, I took the one book that I had back. So just to make sure that it got back to them.
They are doing that every day.
Yeah. Well, they're doing it at Westchester. The three big ones: Trenton, Westchester, and Middletown. But all the small branches that are around are still closed.
Okay.
So the three big branches are open, but they're open very, very limited.
I will return them maybe in a couple of weeks, because I don't want to move them with all the stuff. Is it a snake?
That's a
Caterpillar.
caterpillar from the monarch butterfly
Okay.
from last year, I think it was. No, 2 years ago. And this little butterfly bush is very pretty. Your mates may be interested in this. It's a butterfly bush. It's a smaller one. And at the end of the season, the monarchs will come by and land, and this caterpillar comes up and stays with you for a while, and then turns into a butterfly. Turns into a butterfly.
Yeah.
Pretty flower too.
Nice picture.
And we got foxes and all kinds of stuff. Oh, this is what happened. I met my neighbor in the backyard the other day. I was cutting the grass, and her dog came to visit me, and then she came by to get her dog.
Okay.
So I was able to get several shots. I was pleased with the cameras. There's her and the dog. And there she is.
The dog escaped and she ran after it, huh?
Yeah, there's the dog on the front steps. Come to see if I was home.
Yeah.
So the cameras do a pretty good job of policing the area.
Is there any camera that can be put in a tree without a battery or something and last several months?
Yeah.
I need some help or some link to buy a couple for my new house. To put cameras far from the house, you know?
It's those that, what's his name? Steve uses. He replaces the battery every 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they call them?
Trail cams?
No, trail cam's one thing, but that's kind of crude.
It's I don't remember what that's called.
They have infrared mode.
There it is. There's a Samsung.
Uh-huh.
There's one, but that's not the brand that he uses.
IP, rechargeable, okay. And by night, it use infrared or?
Yeah, all of them use infrared at night. But this one has motion detection.
Okay.
So it's, yeah, I don't know how well it'll do outside though. That's the issue. But you can be our guinea pig, or you can read up on them.
Mm-hmm.
There is the style, Arlo. That's what Steve uses, the Arlo, and on wireless security camera. You might want to read up and see what kind of motion detection they do. It doesn't broadcast all the time like the other cameras. It only takes a picture when there's something there. It'll tell you something there, and you can go look at it and see what's there, but it's not on all the time because it eat up your batteries.
And it send the image to a recorder or something?
If you want, I think it records internally.
It's probably got an SD card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess that it does. And if it sees motion, you can set it up to tell you. Or you can just go view it and see what's inside of it, see what's going on. Oh, this guy's selling $45 is a good price. That may not be the Arlo though. That's not an Arlo. But we can read up on that. You got the name now. Arlo is the name brand. And you change the battery 6 months to a year, something like that.
There is a solar version. I saw something solar.
Yeah.
There are some solar brands. Yeah, I don't know much about them. Well, there's one.
Yeah.
This is a
Rio
link. Yeah, I would go for that. They have good software. They have by far the best software, by far the best connectivity so far. And by
which one? Which one?
This Rio link.
Okay.
For their other cameras, Rio link really has some good stuff. I like them. Somebody else has been buying them too. Battery or solar powered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it uses PIR. PIR didn't help you much. Well, it does, but you got to watch. You can exclude areas. You have to exclude limbs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
you still get shadows and stuff will trigger it. Two-way audio, Starlight Night Vision, 1080p, Full HD, which that doesn't mean anything. 2 megapixel. It's a 2 megapixel, which
I would try one of those.
Okay. The 2 is a little bit low, but I understand using 2 megapixel out there, and it's H.264. I prefer to use OnVIF because of compatibility with iSpy, and OnVIF in general is good. This is probably not OnVIF because it's 264. I suspect that might not. No, 264 is OnVIF, but it doesn't say OnVIF. Windows 7 or greater, there you're home.